My husband's work wife turned out to be his actual wife. I watched her hands shake as she slid the photo across the table. Birthday party, pink balloons, a little girl with frosting on her face. Brendan stood behind them with his arm around Natalie's shoulders, grinning like he'd never been happier. June 14th, she said. My daughter turned 6. I pulled out my phone and scrolled to the same weekend. Screenshots of texts. Conference in Denver. Miss you already. Hotel Wi-Fi is terrible. She stared at the messages, then back at the photo. He was home that whole weekend. We went to the zoo on Saturday. The barista walked past our booth, slowed, kept moving. We'd been here 40 minutes and hadn't touched our coffee. The table between us looked like evidence from a crime scene. Bank statements, phone records, printed emails, 2 separate timelines written in different colored ink that matched up so perfectly they could have been traced. September, I said, tapping my timeline. He told me his mom was sick. Drove to Ohio for a week. Natalie's pen hovered over her paper. He was with us. Helped coach my son's soccer team. She pulled out her phone, swiped through photos. Brendan in a neon yellow vest, whistle around his neck, high-fiving a kid in cleats. I'd called him every night that week. Heard traffic in the background once, and he'd said he was getting dinner near the hospital. I'd told him I loved him. Asked about his mom. He'd sighed like the weight of it was crushing him. Which account did his paycheck go into? Natalie asked. I showed her my bank app. Direct deposits every 2 weeks. Same amount, always on Friday. She pulled up hers. Same deposits, same Fridays, different account number. That's not possible, I said. He had HR split it. She zoomed in on a document she'd pulled from his email. Payroll authorization form, his signature at the bottom, 2 routing numbers listed, 50% to each. The coffee shop felt smaller. The couple at the next table kept glancing over. I didn't care. How much was rent? She asked. $1,400. Same. She flipped through a stack of credit card statements. And look at this. Gas purchases ping-ponging between your zip code and mine. Sometimes twice in one day. I traced the pattern with my finger. Morning purchase near my apartment. Afternoon purchase near hers. Evening back at mine. He told me he drove for work, visiting client sites. He told me he had a consulting contract that required travel. We sat there staring at 3 years of lies formatted in spreadsheet rows. He'd bought flowers on the same day for both of us. Used the same excuse about needing new cologne because his old bottle spilled. Told both of us he was working late when he was actually rotating between households like some kind of shift worker. When did you get married? Natalie asked. I pulled the certificate from my folder. April 9th, 3 years ago. Small ceremony. His family couldn't make it because of a funeral. Her face went pale. She didn't say anything, just slid a different certificate across the table. Hers, dated 7 years earlier. Same officiant signature style, different city. He never filed for divorce, she said. I checked this morning. We're still legally married. The hollow feeling in my chest spread outward. I wasn't his wife. I'd never been his wife. Every anniversary, every shared bill, every night I'd fallen asleep next to him thinking I knew who he was. All of it built on a marriage that didn't exist. He has 2 kids, Natalie said quietly. I know. He showed me pictures once. Said they were his sisters. She looked at me like I'd slapped her. My kids. He showed you my kids. The barista was wiping down the counter, watching us now without pretending not to. Another customer walked in, took one look at our table, and sat on the opposite side of the shop. Natalie's phone buzzed. Text from Brendan. Working late tonight, love you. Mine buzzed 10 seconds later. Same message, different phrasing. Stuck at the office. See you around 9. She held up her phone next to mine. What time is it now? 6:30. He's got 3 hours, she said, to figure out which home he's going to tonight. I looked at her across the table. This stranger who'd lived the same life as me without either of us knowing. Full story on my channel below.